Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is April 13th, 2019. Shout out to my man Finesse Tech on Twitter, my man Done Deal on YouTube. He wanted me to play this. Jadakiss, Neo, and Nipsey. Yeah, rip Nipsey. It's past our Nipsey week. We're playing all Nipsey, but I'm still playing a few tracks that people have sent in. And so here's another one, man. This is a good one. I actually love this Jadakiss album. If you guys haven't heard it, Top 5 Dead or Alive, check this album out by Jadakiss. A very good hip-hop album. But check this one out, though, for sure. There ain't nothing new featuring Nipsey on there. So what's good, people? Hope you guys doing well today. We've got a couple of interesting topics to cover this evening. The first one is very, to me, guys, this article that I'm going to read is really going to drive home the true reason cryptocurrencies, or I should say Bitcoin, was even created. And this is around this whole Julian Assange thing and the WikiLeaks situation, which is absolutely horrible. They dragged him out, the embassy, and now they've got him held captive. And, you know, there's a lot of things wrong with this story. But I do want to just say that from a crypto standpoint, a lot of money is starting to pour in regards to helping the WikiLeaks project, and it's being done through Bitcoin primarily and other cryptocurrencies. So we're going to take a look at this article that talks about this. And again, this is really what Bitcoin was created for, where people can donate and the banking cartel can't intervene, can't intercept, can't stop these donations to help this guy. And, you know, I think this is a perfect example of what it was all created for. Not to make people rich, not to speculate on it going to 100,000 or a million or whatever the case may be from a speculative perspective. It was meant for these types of scenarios. So I want to really highlight this story and drive home to you guys the true meaning for cryptocurrencies, the true meaning of using cryptocurrencies. So that's the first article. Second article is caught my eye because the fifth largest Japanese bank, it looks like they've ditched their Ripple experiment, them using Ripple. We're going to look into the details. I have not read this article either. So I'm interested to see why they stopped using Ripple and see what that may mean for that project going forward. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Ripple at all, so it doesn't hurt me any to see this happen. But I'm just curious to see why they decided not to use Ripple any longer. So we'll review those two articles here shortly, but I first want to look at this market cap. We're currently at $172 billion. Let's look at that graph really quickly, and we're still above this support line here. If I can draw this straight as possible, you can see what I mean there. And if I draw one at the top as well, see here, you can see we're in a channel right now. But if we look at Bitcoin, you will see not much going on here, people. It's back to being flatline, not as flat as you can see here over the last few months. This is just a nightmare scenario for any type of active trader. And there's no way you can make money in this environment. So let's see if this price action can increase here soon. Again, I've told you guys the levels we have to look out for. And essentially, we got to trade above 52.5, or you want to just call it 5,300. The longer we stay below this area of 5,300, the higher the likelihood of us dropping back down before trying it again. So we'll keep an eye out on that. The first article, though, is about this whole Julian Assange. It's crazy what's going on with WikiLeaks founder. It says here, Bitcoin donations flow in after Julian Assange arrest. WikiLeaks, a controversial project, receives both financial and morale boosts from the Bitcoin community. I'm glad to see this. Again, this is the whole meaning truly behind Bitcoin, is to be able to circumvent governments, censorship, and all that good stuff. So it says, following the arrest of the WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange in London this April 10th, the Bitcoin community immediately showed its support as donations in the WikiLeaks wallet piled up. Donations started coming into one of the newly disclosed donation wallets, which already holds upwards of 6 Bitcoin. The amount nearly doubled in the past days with donations triggered by the arrest. One of the known addresses of WikiLeaks has already collected more than 4,000 Bitcoin over the years after most major payment processors in the US blocked the accounts of WikiLeaks. The digital asset community has aligned some of its interests with WikiLeaks agendas, including an anti-authority stance. The controversial site has received polarized views, with some seeing it as a key to freedom of speech, while others reject the site's transparency efforts as a form of treason or a way to push foreign policy agendas. WikiLeaks is also seen as one of the sites that gave visibility to Bitcoin in its early days. The creator of the Bitcoin Talk blog, Cobra Bitcoin, remarked that Bitcoin owed to WikiLeaks. So this is what Cobra said: Julian Assange and WikiLeaks were one of the first advocates and supporters of Bitcoin. They were the first to put Bitcoin in the mainstream spotlight. For that reason, we Bitcoiners owe them a huge debt and should speak up about what's happening to Assange. Very sad. I agree with them totally. It is very sad. You know, we talk about being able to use Bitcoin to buy a cup of coffee and all that retarded stuff. This is how you use Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? This is how you use Bitcoin to fund whatever your political stance or agenda is. It should be able to be funded without any recourse or without any government being able to do anything about it, in my opinion. We need to get back to this type of philosophy and ideology in the Bitcoin and crypto community, instead of worrying about what cryptocurrency is going to be on the next big exchange. The article goes on to say here, the messages within cryptocurrency related social media point to support for WikiLeaks and disapproval of the tightening censorship, seeing the arrest as an attack on the opportunity for free media reporting. Now Assange awaits a decision on deportation to the US. What is even more curious, one of the latest posts of Satoshi Nakamoto on Bitcoin Talk forums, Satoshi wrote in 2010 that it would have been nice to get this attention in any other context. WikiLeaks has kicked the hornet's nest and the swarm is headed towards us, he wrote. The statement is puzzling, making the commenters suggest the disappearance may not be deliberate. But what is without a doubt, the crypto community, at least in its early stages, was closely linked to the ideas that gave rise to the culture of leaks and transparency, combining with self-sovereignty and personal privacy. Other commenters have pointed out that Bitcoin is one of the reasons WikiLeaks has survived this long, and I have to agree with that. Absolutely it is. The site, however, has not sold significant amounts of its coins despite the need for funding, in fact, choosing to hold on to the assets. WikiLeaks also accepts donations in Bitcoin Cash and Zcash, and that's true. I remember when PayPal shut their accounts off and a number of other processors, Visa, MasterCard, they all shut their doors to WikiLeaks. And just let you know, of course, what their stance is. These corporations, man, they don't want to touch any of this type of stuff. So it's good that we have alternative methods of funding whatever we want. Good or bad, it should be allowed, in my opinion. And so we should all be grateful to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and just the idea of this technology being created. And you guys should go out there and definitely donate to what's going on with WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. Hopefully somehow, I'm not too optimistic, but somehow maybe we can help save him from whatever they're trying to do with him over here in the US. So we'll have to see what happens with this story. I'm going to follow it closely, and maybe I'll do a my 2 cents video on this as more details come out. But it's very sad. But again, it just drives home, or it should drive home to you guys, that stop focusing so much on, what exchange the coins are going on or how much the price is today and tomorrow and all of that. I mean, it's cool. We want to make money, of course, but I think most of the community has gotten away from the core reasons for this new technology. So we just got to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? And definitely want to hear your thoughts about what's going on with Julian Assange and this whole WikiLeaks thing, man. It's crazy. On this article, if you click in this article, you'll be able to see the address where you can donate. Definitely do that if you have the time and opportunity to. And the beautiful thing about it is that you can donate without being put on a list. You know what I'm saying? You can donate without being put on a list. Make sure you don't donate from an account or address that has your name attached to it, meaning from an exchange like Coinbase or something like that. Try to donate from a wallet address that never had any association with your name. So definitely do that if you can. We'll keep an eye out on this for sure. The second article is about this Japanese bank abruptly ditching Ripple's trial, and it's the 5th largest Japanese bank. So this is interesting to see. It says here that Ripple, the blockchain-based payment network, suffered a setback after Japan's 5th largest bank said it would no longer use MoneyTap, a consumer-centric retail payments app that uses Ripple's enterprise blockchain technology. Resona is the name of the institution. They did not provide a reason for the abrupt cancellation, which makes it the first Japanese bank to quit the MoneyTap project. It's unclear if others will follow. So darn it, we won't even be able to get an explanation on this. I was hoping this article had that. The cancellation takes effect on May 13th. Resona made the surprising announcement April 11th on its website, where it said Resona Bank will cancel the cooperation with the money transfer application MoneyTap, which started on October of 2018. So it looks like there are 13 other Japanese banks that invested in this MoneyTap app. It says here, reported by CCN, in October of 2018, the consortium of 61 Japanese banks, which account for over 80% of Japan's banking assets, had agreed to eventually use MoneyTap. As of last month, 13 banks had invested in the project as shareholders. Interestingly, Resona was one of the first 3 banks to join the project, which does not use the public XRP cryptocurrency. MoneyTap is the product of SBI Ripple Asia, a banking alliance that launched in November of 2016. The group's goal was to leverage Ripple's blockchain technology for domestic bank transfers in Japan. MoneyTap enables real-time domestic money transfers between bank accounts 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Payments can be triggered with the use of a simple QR code or the recipient's phone number through the application, which is available on both iOS and Android platforms. And I'm just going to tell you right now, my first gut feeling from seeing that is that JP Morgan probably gave them a better offer, or said, hey, you guys need to go ahead and use this JPM coin. It's like a get down or lay down situation that JP Morgan probably put on them. All alleged, all speculation. This is just my opinion. I have no evidence of this. Haven't looked any further, but I can't imagine JP Morgan not being able to really take a big lion's share of this type of technology being used in the traditional banking systems once they really get up and running. So I don't know why they didn't. It would be very interesting to know. I would love to know why they dropped out of this program, but I guess we'll never really know. And the article finishes up by saying that MIT says that blockchain will become so common in 2019 that it'll become boring. It says in 2017, blockchain technology was a revolution that was supposed to disrupt the global financial system. In 2018, it was a disappointment. In 2019, it will start to become mundane. So far, we have yet to see mass adoption of blockchain, but there has been undeniable progress on that front. For sure, there has been. And with, in my opinion, AI, I was watching a documentary about AI last night, and about, how Canada is actually the headquarters for AI development and breakthrough. So I think with AI and blockchain kind of coming together, it's really going to change the game. But again, it's not going to be in the way you think, and it's not going to have a direct impact on the decentralized currencies like Bitcoin. The adoption of blockchain in corporate world will not translate into a direct positive impact on price, positive or negative. I don't think it would be any correlation, like near zero correlation with what cryptocurrencies are doing that we know about. So I don't think we should even care how big blockchain gets on that level. It's not going to have a real impact on Bitcoin. Being able to help Julian Assange and, situations like that, funding different organizations and movements freely with a currency, that's what is going to make Bitcoin huge. And also, as an underline, I've said this before, Bitcoin will be huge as a settlement layer, or an asset that you can settle different payments and transactions with. So that will grow, and we'll see, you know, more and more demand to use Bitcoin for those reasons. And you guys just let me know what your thoughts are on these two topics. Again, shout out to my man Finesse Tech on Twitter. Thanks for that song request, man. I love this Jadakiss joint right here with Nipsey and Neo. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Click that bell, all that good stuff. My two Satoshi for April 13th, 2019. I'm out here, people. Holla!